Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review How to Blow Up a Pipeline. And this is a new thriller from director Daniel Goldhaber, who previously did the film Cam, and carries over that talent and suspense and thrills he was able to capture in that film into this one, which is about a group of young environmental activists who plot to blow up a pipeline to disrupt oil distribution. And this film feels very gritty, very raw. You can see it in the way that they film it with the with the film that they utilize, very grainy. It feels kind of like you're watching a group in a documentary trying to do this. It's well shot. There's plenty of suspense and tension that builds throughout the film. It has some interesting editing choices and story structure where at a moment where the tension's going to be as high as possible, rips you out and gives you context to each of the characters at a timely moment that feels like it adds depth to their experiences and potentially what's going to happen to them. Also adding layers to the narrative overall. And this is a bold choice in terms of the editing, and in general, I do feel like it wound up helping build tension and add some emotional weight, especially with some of these characters who have complex backstories. And overall, this story feels a lot more complicated than you might think, because you see the title, you see the trailers, it's pretty straightforward, but this story does add some layers to it. And the performances overall, I think, are very good. I think there's some very strong performances. Ariella Barrera, especially Sasha Lane, give some very strong and impactful performances. There are a couple that feel a little weak, and honestly, some of the dialogue in this film can feel pretty cringy, and like, they even have some of the lines in the trailer that I'm just, like, eye-rolling at because they feel so on the nose. And you watch the film, and I was hoping that they'd feel better in context, and some of them don't. It's very much like, would somebody really say that describing this situation? And the thing is, this film has very specific ideologies that it's coming in with. Very... Obviously, the characters have some generally very extreme perspectives. But there's also feels like there's some tension throughout this group to what level they want to take this. And I feel like that adds some layers and dimensions to the story because it causes some conflict even amongst this group. And that is more interesting that way. It has some shocks and turns and suspense and thrills all the way up to how this all plays out. And I do feel like this film puts it out there and leaves the audience enough space to really come to a conclusion about, is this kind of thing worth it, this revolution? Are they revolutionaries? Are they terrorists? That's the big conversation about this. And when it comes down to it, this is a thought-provoking, engaging, and thrilling ride that I think, especially if you're willing to challenge yourself as a film goer and a movie watcher, this will definitely do that for you. But those are my thoughts on How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.